Hello. We are back again with our readings from the corpus of early Arabic sources for West African history. Today's reading will be the brief passages on Barnu, or Kanem Borno, by al-Qalqashandi, who was born in Egypt in 1355 and died there in 1418. He served in the chancellery of the Mamluk court. Let's begin with his passages on Barnu, or Kanem Borno. The inhabitants of Barnu are Muslims, and for the most part of black complexion. It says in the Tarif, the Lord of Barnu's, land marches with the land of Takrur on the east, with the land of Ifriqiya on the north, and with that of the savages on the south. The capital of the people of Barnu is Kaka, according to what was told to me by the emissary of their sultan, who arrived in Egypt in company with the pilgrims during the reign of the Sultan al-Zahir Barkuk. There is an allusion to Barnu in the Masalik al-Absar in the definition of the boundaries of the kingdom of Mali, as will be mentioned hereafter, if God wills. Another of their cities is Kutniski. It lies 1 day's journey to the east of Kaka. There arrived a letter from the king of Barnu towards the end of al-Zahir Barkuk's reign, in which the king mentioned that he was descended from Sef bin Yazan. But he did not establish a genealogy, for he said also that he was of Quraysh, which is an error on their part, for Sef bin Yazan descended from the Tobas of the Yemen, who were Himyarites. This will be mentioned below when we speak of correspondence, in the fourth Makala of this book, if God wills. This lord of al-Barnu has correspondence with the Sultan's court in Egypt, which will be mentioned there also, if God wills. The ruler of al-Barnu has also received correspondence from the Sultan's court in Egypt, which will be mentioned there, if God wills. It has already been mentioned that Kaka is the capital of the Sultan of al-Barnu. The distance between Kaka and Jimi is 40 miles. So, this brief passage from al-Qalqashandi actually does reveal quite a bit about Kanem Borno in the late 14th century. For instance, it makes it quite clear that the Safawa ruling dynasty had relocated into Borno by this time period, which matches with the Girgam and the Kanuri Kanembu oral traditions about the shift in the Safawa permanent base to what is now Borno from Kanem due to the civil wars with the Bulala and civil wars within different factions of the royal family. Al-Qalqashandi also references some interesting tidbits about Mamluk Kanem Borno relations through emissaries, correspondence, and pilgrimage as well, since after all, an emissary of the Sultan of Barnu was accompanied pilgrims en route to Mecca. This is interesting since it points to how in the late 1300s, Muslim pilgrims from Kanem Borno were passing through Egypt to get to Mecca still. So this is still long before the development of the so-called Sudanic route of Muslim pilgrims who would have traveled along the Sudanic belt to reach Mecca. And al-Qalqashandi's account, though brief, also tells us the names of some of these early Kanem Borno or Safawa dynasty cities in Bornu, particularly Kaka and Kutniski. So clearly by the late 14th century, the Safawa dynasty had established more towns or cities within Bornu. However, this is still long before Ngazargamu was established in the late 1400s as the capital. And then the al-Qalqashandi's account, though brief, tells us something about how the kings of Borno had this confused, concocted genealogy, not only claiming descent from Seth, but also claiming that they were of the Quraysh. that is interesting in terms of the general pattern of how Islamicized or Islamized groups in Western Africa have always claimed or concocted these fabulous genealogies linking themselves to Islamic and pre-Islamic Arab figures. But let's stop here before we proceed next time with the actual letter sent by the ruler of Bornu to the Mamluk Sultan that is later included in al-Qalqashandi's account. Thank you very much.